So, hey, you guys, I'm back again for another in the Palms Up series, Palms Up during the pandemic. Brian and I are trying to figure out the best way to do that. But this is the motion that's to stave off fear. And I thought, who better to talk about fear and everything that's happening right now than my amazing friend, client, and dear person, Brian. So Brian, please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, people call me Brian Muka. I'm the founder of Fear Sherpa, where I teach people not to simply overcome fear, otherwise known as ignoring it. That doesn't work, right? It's the crying 3-year-old. You're like, not right now. Let me push all that crap down so I can deal with it later.
Right.
What does that do? It increases pressure, right? The goal of our call today is to decrease pressure and to find calm in the eye of the hurricane.
Exactly.
What I do is I teach people how to honor fear, how to understand it, how to realize that it is a very vital part and a necessary part of it, but it needs a commander. Fear becomes useful when it's small and useful. And if we look at it and appreciate it and honor it, giving it its due time, not a second more, it's the fuel that can propel us to greatness. I wrote a book with the help of the lovely Kim Ely called Your Secret Superpower, Tame Fear to Thrive. If you download or order that book, there's some resources teaching you how to breathe, how to address worry, our imagination that's creating the life that we don't want, and how to take command of what our imagination and what our language is offering for us in the act of creation. I find that most people think they suffer from the fear of the unknown and the imposter syndrome. Who am I, right? Who am I to thrive today, right? I'm not good enough. When really the fears are actually fear of leaving the known. And what we're going to talk about today is we've left the known.
Exactly.
It's gone.
We popped. That ship has sailed. The the normal that we knew.
Goodbye.
Exactly.
Goodbye. Right.
Yeah.
And you can try and hold on to that old life, right? And you will suffer.
Yeah.
Suffering is, wishing for things to be different than they are.
Yes. And I find it so interesting because these days a lot of people are like, oh, well, in a month or two, when this is all over, we can go back to normal. And it's like, what do you think we're returning to? I think that's so much of people's fear is this uncertainty, what are we returning to?
So a great illusion is certainty and control. What do I have control over? Only my reaction. Or what can I proactively do? So what Kim Ely is proactively doing is getting these speakers and influencers and coaches and beacons of light, right? We don't know how this is going to work out.
Right.
And so if you're listening to this right now in this time, we have a choice. We could wait. We could wait for the dust to settle, the virus to stop, the world to go back to normal. Or we can let other leaders make those decisions for us. You have every right to do that. And just wait. Pull up in your house, watch Netflix, spend time with your loved ones. And there's a lot of value to that. Right? We've been in this constant harvest mode for decades.
Yeah.
In the farmer's life, it was a good life. 51 weeks out of the year. You get up, you make breakfast, spend time with the family, go check in the crops, right? And 1 week out of the year, you work 18-hour days.
Yeah.
You gotta get your product to market.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the other 51 weeks of pura vida, the good life.
Yeah.
We've been living in the harvest season for decades. Draw, make music, make love, make laughter, make dance. You've got space now. Whether an entrepreneur fighting your way through this, whether you're an employee, government service worker, take a breath.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
earned it.
Wow.
The other scary part to this, right?
Mhm.
We don't have the outside distractions.
Yes.
I can't go to Havana's and go smoke a cigar, right?
Right.
I can't go to the restaurant with my friends.
Right.
And what I've chosen to do is spend my time with my parents. So I'm in New Jersey. I just drove across the country because in this situation, there's a combination of terror and worry.
Yeah.
Corona isn't flu. It's not. It's growing exponentially. It's 10 times the virility that flu is. It's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so pretending this doesn't exist, it's foolish.
Right. There's no digging your head in the sand and be like, la 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 la, nothing's happening,
You can do that, right?
Yeah.
And then when you realize that I can't do that anymore, the suffering will be great.
Yeah.
The other part to this is the worry. What if I run out of money? What if the water shuts off, right? There's things in the worry that can be addressed, and
Right.
acknowledge them and make a plan. Make
Yeah.
a plan,
Yeah.
right? No one can take care of you the way that you can take care of you. I hope that we're learning that, waiting for the government and the CDC to take care of us.
Hmm. Oh, that is such a good point.
We've outsourced so many things in our life. Our health, right? I just do what the doctor tells me.
Right. Right.
My finances, I just do what the financial planner tells me to do.
Right.
My
Right.
relationships, what I do for fun, how I spend my time. Unless we consciously choose what to do next or how
Uh-huh.
to invest those resources,
Yeah.
we're chasing the external things and we're not working on what uniquely makes me happy.
Oh, well, that's huge. I feel like, and tell me if I'm on the right track. I think this has always been the case, but this episode where it interrupted us in such a major way makes it just like perfectly clear, not shades of gray, but like you are in control. You are the one making the decisions. And maybe that's a lot of what people's uncertainty is also. It's like, oh, I like when other people tell me what to do.
It's easy to trust others.
Yeah.
I find it's hard to trust myself. Said the
Yeah.
Navy bomb technician, military free fall, business owner. You know,
Right.
this year's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
This is the first year I really started trusting myself. I know what to do.
Yeah.
And when I don't, I can ask the experts who I trust, whose lives I'd like to emulate.
Yeah.
Why would I ever take advice from somebody whose life that I don't want?
So true.
I made that mistake. Yeah. So I remember when I was a kid, I was watching the war in Kuwait, and there's a lot of oil fires. And one of the techniques that these firefighters would do is they would affix and detonate explosives to these oil wells.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the explosion, the way that a blast wave works, it's overpressure because it's super hot. And then the
Right.
temperature rapidly drops and it creates a vacuum. It
Ooh.
sucks out all the air. So in the pause after the explosion is a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
So based on how we're looking at this, maybe the explosion has already happened in terms of chaos, transition, new world.
Right.
Maybe that's already happened. Maybe we're still warming up. The virus hasn't really hit yet, right?
Yeah.
In either case, there will be a vacuum and we will get to fill that with whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can do that consciously. How will I choose to fill that vacuum, this new space, this new time, this new life?
Right.
Or am I just going to follow the path of least resistance and do what everybody else is doing?
Oh, wow.
These are good questions.
These are
And
excellent questions.
you have the right to respond however you'd like.
Yeah.
what I would recommend is to have a plan. You always get what you plan for. And if you plan for nothing, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Good old Navy maxim for you, right?
Yeah.
So you've got silence. You know, those of us that have chosen to do the deep inner work are prepared. We're ready. This last year with transitioning my marriage, I had to learn how to be alone.
Yeah.
Notice I didn't say the word lonely. And
Right.
in this time, you know, you might be experiencing loneliness. You're not able to go out to watch sports and go out to eat and bars and restaurants and music and all of those things. There's a
Right.
hole, right?
Yeah.
You know who's always going to be with you your entire life? So in Nick Knock Tom's book called Fear, there's a Buddhist saying, "I'm of the human nature, and it is my nature to grow old. I'm a human, and it is my nature that I will get sick. I'm a human, and it is my nature that I will die. I'm a human, and it is the nature of all relationships to change."
Wow.
You know, the one relationship we get to pick and nurture and take with us from our first breath to our last breath? It's our inner child.
Ooh.
The little Kim, the little Brian who's scared right now. And it's okay to be scared.
Yeah.
And I ask you, little whatever your name is, watching this, and I wish I knew your name to share this right now with you, but I don't. And you know, we have got a group watching, right? And
Yeah.
so little Amy, little Susan, little David, right? What do you
Yeah.
need to know? And often it's that image of, let me just hug and love you because I know
Yeah.
you're scared. I choose you and I can protect you in ways that when we were children, I couldn't. But now I can. You know, it's the reason why I've got little Brian.
Aww.
And as we step into this new world, you know, uniquely positioned, as we all are, to share our talents and our gifts and those things. I had the thought bubble of, I don't deserve that. Look at all the mistakes that I made. Look at all the time I wasted this year trying to get back on my horse, you know, and recover after my life's second avalanche. And I looked at little Brian and I said, but he's worth it. He deserves that. And so
Yeah.
often we let ourselves down because we think that we're not worthy. We're ashamed and we feel guilty, right? And in this space, those are all things that could come up for us. And they can be addressed. They don't need to be addressed. They will fester and, you know, metastasize as a cancer. And this is all a call to action, to be very mindful in what you think about. Kim and I did some work, and she and I both happen to be super empathic. And feeling what other people feel is a cool party trick and a great ability to have in coaching and guiding people to be their greatest and best selves. It's amazing. And with every superpower, it's a double-edged sword. There's a downside to it. And if I may, can I share the line that was used?
Please, yes.
So I always take on other people's stuff. The idea is the thoughts that I entertain, do they serve? And then changing that mantra into, I entertain only the thoughts that serve. So it doesn't matter if it's true, right? I wasted a lot of time last year in recovering from my divorce. It's true. It isn't useful though. It's unkind. It's not being impeccable with my word. So the words that we use, you know, are the indications of what thoughts we continue to cycle through.
Right.
And I want you to play along as you watch this. Kim and I did this earlier. I want you to count down from 10, okay? In whatever language you want. English, Italian, Farsi, Mandarin, Japanese, Pig Latin, your choice. Or even English. And I want you to count down from 10. And we're going to run a little experiment, okay? So play along. I'm going to ask you to do something in the middle, okay? But remember, you're counting down from 10. All right, 3, 2, 1, count down in your head from 10. Go. Say your name out loud. What is your name?
Kim.
Right. And so the antidote to those errant true non-useful thought is speaking the mantra.
Mm.
So we went from I always take on other people's stuff and stepped it down. Because that's not true. Actually, I don't always take on other people's stuff. Maybe often I do.
Mm-hmm.
Often I take on other people's stuff. And
That's
what did you
awesome.
notice? What did you notice when you changed the always to often?
So when I changed from I always take on other people's stuff, and then we changed it to I often take on other people's stuff, the always felt so absolute, right? Like always means, there's no wiggle room. Every time I'm out and about, I take on people's stuff. But the often makes it conditional.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference, and it makes me relax some because I'm like, oh, I don't always have to do it. I often do it, but I don't do it all the time.
Yes, exactly. And so that was Kim's expression. That was the major thought, right? And so this can be a stressful time. It can be an exciting time where we become the curators of the new earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get to choose. Nervous or excitement feels the same. The difference is the smile. And if you notice in our communication right now, we've been using the breath, taking space to really breathe. And the breath is important because it connects the heart to the mind. The heart knows the way.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your heart, it knows the way. The brain gets confused. And also the warning here is don't do it. Don't make fear-based decisions. It will always lead us astray because ego wants us to remain small, safe, and comfortable.
Right.
Small, safe, and comfortable can actually get us killed. So the thing that we're worried about actually can become true. So that which we spend time and give energy to grows.
Yeah.
And be really careful what we think about and what we speak into words. And, if you're on this video participating, the call to action is become the beacon of calm in this chaotic time or this exciting time where we get to reset, right? So I just read this morning. Sir Isaac Newton, he was under quarantine from the bubonic plague when he created a little thing called gravity. And he got to work on calculus, right? I was on a call last night and we're talking about World War II, the greatest world war. We created radio communication. We created penicillin. And so under great adversity, and let's change that word, change it into a headwind. The wind changed direction. Every aircraft takes off into a headwind. Only always. Only always. And I'll share this from my past too. And so, in the war against improvised explosive devices, my community of bomb technicians, we've created the most amazing prosthetics. So from the darkness, people are now walking and using robotic arms to pick up keys and to unlock doors with a mind-controlled prosthetic device.
Amazing.
So it is in our nature, it is our birthright as humans that we notice adversity.
Yeah.
We come together as a collective and we solve these unsolvable problems. Only always. We always do this.
Only always.
How we are in the past, how we are with little things is how we will be in big things, right? Only always. And so, we've got a couple minutes left to chat. And if you've noticed the breath, Kim, I want you to pick a number between 5 and 13.
Okay.
Will you share the number with me?
11.
It's a great number. It's double creation if you're into numerology. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 11 deep breaths. But before we do that, I'm gonna check in. Right now I'm feeling tightness in my back. I've got some sinus congestion. And my heart rate's elevated. I've got some nervous / excited energy.
Yeah.
And I ask you to check in. What do you notice? Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes. Let it out slowly. What do you notice? Where are you holding tension? All right, let's dive. So we're going to breathe in through the nose. You can breathe out through the nose or the mouth, up to you. And the deepest breaths that you've taken today, maybe in your life. With each breath, breathe deeper. And with this, each exhale, release more and more tension. Notice where your back, your neck, your feet, where are you holding tension, and blow it out. Let go of any darkness, any negativity, and just allow yourself to be clear. Okay? Deep breath in through the nose. Release. In. Release. Fully in. Let go of all tension. In. Let go. In. Let go. In. Let go. In. Let go. 2 more. In. Let go. Fully in and hold it. Smile and squeeze. Out slowly. Just sit quiet. Wow. I notice peace. I notice this deep feeling of hope as we come together, we breathe together, and we share with people the calm, easy breathing. We can be the beacon of calm. I'm clear. I feel strong. It's been here the whole time. The whole time. Kim, what do you notice?
I notice before my shoulders were very tense, I feel more relaxed. I also tears well up. I feel connected. I feel connected with you. I feel connected with the people who will be watching this. Yeah, and feeling that they won't be making those decisions from the place of fear. They will be making decisions with a calm breath. I love that. That's amazing.
The calm is the first step to widening the space between the stimulus, which not in our control, right? So please know that control is an illusion. It always was. The calm, easy life illusion that we created, there's more to this. And this could be an opportunity to truly start living again, the highs and the lows and the great adventure that is life. Ben Franklin shared most men die at 25 and aren't buried at 75. There's people dying from corona. There's people that die in car accidents, walking down the street. I mean, every single breath is precious. How did you use yours? And on my deathbed, death will come knocking, and it will not be a negotiation. He will ask, he will tell me, that's it. And the question becomes, and the way I will greet death, because in understanding and no longer being afraid of dying, I've unlearned how to be a slave to it. And I want to look death in the face and say, I don't need another breath. I used mine wisely.
That's incredible. Thank you so much, Brian. Oh, I appreciate you so much. And you became my fear coach a while because of us working together. And just absolutely adore you. So thank you so much for sharing this.
You don't remember anything else that I tell you today, breathe like you mean it, because your life depends on it. It does. Conscious breathing is such a gift. 6 deep breaths are the minimum effective dosage to change 80% of our physiology through breath work. There's literally no bottom to the end of the breath work. And if this is something you're interested in and you notice the difference, imagine doing this for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, guided with technique. It's like a golf swing. It's like Olympic weightlifting. There's layers to this.
Right.
My favorite thing to teach, because it's the highest leverage skill that I know how to teach somebody to take command of their lives. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things: kind questions, smiling, gratitude, the breathe, smile, gratitude. If you don't remember anything else, breathe, smile. What am I grateful for? Gratitude is the switch to turn off fear and anger. I'm noticing fear and anger with how we arrived in the situation. I was angry.
Yeah.
And now thankful that I get to be a leader in this new world. That's the opportunity. Those are the cards as they were. That's the shitty or amazing hand that you've just been dealt. And what you do next is completely up to you. Trust yourself. Find the breath, find the smile, find the gratitude, find your tribe, and be that beacon of hope and calm. You get to practice being calm. And the idea is the storm may be raging on the outside, but always it's calm on the inside. And we'll gain control back of making courage and love-based decisions instead of deciding to be small, safe, and comfortable.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Oh, I wanna end with 3 deep breaths. This is an indulgence for me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask you to do something. I need you to commit to this. Okay. And I promise the dopamine you receive on the other side of this will be worth it.
Okay.
We're going to take 3 deep breaths and we're going to laugh. We're going to fake laugh on the way out. Fake laughter, real laughter, doesn't matter. It's the same to the body. Okay.
Awesome.
So we're going to take a deep breath in. I'm fully committed. If you're fully committed,
I'm fully committed.
we're going to laugh our way to the conclusion of this call. You ready?
Yes.
Deep breath in.
Okay.
Dopamine and gratitude.
Yay, thank you.
Enjoy.